Good morning, and we are on chapter 41, and it's a small chapter, but like I said before, it really did seem like it was a huge chapter. When I was younger, um, because of the meaty content that it has. So we'll start right into it because there's a lot in here. Now, my son, I have somewhat to say concerning the restoration of which has been spoken. So we started talking about the restoration, not the restoration of the gospel, but the restoration of our body and spirit together, and in the resurrection, of which has been spoken. For behold, some have wrested the scriptures, not put them down. They twisted them, they changed them to mean something else, and have gone far astray because of this thing. And I perceive that thy mind has been worried also concerning this thing. But behold, I will explain it unto thee. I believe, strange enough, I was having a talk with my son the other day, and some of the things that was brought up were exactly on this thing of restoration, of feeling like we'd be restored to something totally different than what we are. And I think it's something that is interesting in the gospel, not just in the gospel, but in the world, where people look at this just dichotomy where there's good on one side, evil on the other side, and that's it. And in here, I think he kind of explains it in those extremes, but with undertone of, there's a lot in between, but there is something that's good and there's something that's bad. And if we choose what's bad, we get restored that which is bad. Let's see what he has to say anyway. I say unto thee, my son, that the plan of restoration is requisite with the justice of God. For it is requisite that all things be restored to their proper order. Behold, it is requisite and just, according to the power and resurrection of Christ, the soul of man should be restored to its body, and that every part of the body should be restored to itself. So there is part of what it means to restoration. That the soul of man should be restored to its body, and that that every part of the body should be restored unto itself. That it comes together fitly. Remember, yesterday it talked about not even a hair of the head should be lost, but it should all be there, and it won't be a different body. It'll be your body that's restored, not somebody else's. And it is requisite with the justice of God that men should be judged according to their works. And if their works were good in this life, the desires of their hearts were good, that they should also at the last day be restored unto that which is good. And if their works are evil, they shall be restored unto them for evil. Therefore all things shall be restored to their proper order, everything to its natural frame, mortality raised to immortality, corruption to incorruption, raised to endless happiness to inherit the kingdom of God, or endless misery to inherit the kingdom of the devil, the one on the one hand, the other on the other. Now this is, I think, where a lot of difficulty comes, because even though he's sharing it like there's just happiness and just wickedness and evil, and you get the paintings and the ideas of this people playing harps up in heaven while people down in hell being subject to pitchforks and fiery lakes and being burnt all the time. And it's just not exactly like that. So he's talking about what's in our hearts and what's in our minds, and how do we actually receive these. One raised to happiness according to his desires of happiness, or good according to his desires of good. If you have desires of good and happiness and act on those desires, is that not the thing that is going to be there for you? Yet we've all got some good and some bad desires, but what we do is we work on it to desire only good, to the point, as many times pointed out in the scriptures, that you have no desire to do evil, but to do good continually. And the other, according to his desires of evil, for as he desired to do evil all the day long, even so shall he have his reward of evil when the night cometh. And so it is, on the other hand, if he repent of his sins and desired righteousness unto the end of his days, even so he shall be rewarded unto righteousness. Remember, there's repented of his sins in there, so it doesn't mean that just because you did something wrong one time, you can't turn yourself around and do that which is right. And these are they that are redeemed of the Lord, and these are they that are taken out, that are delivered from the endless night of darkness, and thus they stand or fall, for behold, they are their own judges, whether to do good or do evil. They are their own judges. That's important to see. We have our agency. We know what we're doing is good or not. And if I have time, I might talk a little bit about that. Now the decrees of God are unalterable. Therefore, the way is prepared that whosoever may walk therein may be saved. Now, I think that's important to note, that he's got the path there. It's not hard to see. You just have to walk it. It's that easy. Now behold, my son, do not risk one more offense against your God upon the points of doctrine which ye have hitherto risked to commit sin. And we've discussed that a couple of chapters ago. Do not suppose, because it has been spoken concerning the restoration, that ye shall be restored from sin to happiness. Behold, I say unto you, wickedness never was happiness. And again, thinking about common things where they try to make it look like, well, you can bargain yourself into heaven or whatever, and that's not true. And now, my son, will all men that are in a state of nature, or I would say in a carnal state, are in the gall of bitterness and the bonds of iniquity. They are without God in the world, and they have gone contrary to the nature of God. Therefore they are in a state contrary to the nature of happiness. It just seems so simple. If you go towards God, you will find that you're going towards happiness. And if you're doing something else, it's contrary to the nature of happiness. That's what it is. And you cannot find happiness, pure happiness, or joy when you're doing something that's opposite to happiness and joy. Now behold, this is the meaning of the word restoration, to take a thing of a natural state and place it. Now behold, is this the meaning? Sorry, I read that wrong, and I knew I did. Now behold, is this the meaning of the restoration, to take a thing of a natural state and place it in an unnatural state, or place it in a state opposite to its nature? oh, my son, this is not the case. So it's a rhetorical question. Of course it's not. You don't restore something from one thing to another, a natural state. But the meaning of the word restoration is to bring back evil for evil, or carnal for carnal, or devilish for devilish, good for that which is good, righteous for that which is righteous, just for that which is just, and merciful for that which is merciful. I love that little bit there. Just showing that each bit, if you just you get what you get, so try to be just. And here I love how he does it. So here's a lot of green after he discussed what the meaning was. Therefore, my son, see that ye are merciful unto the brethren, your brethren, deal justly, judge righteously, do good continually. If you do all these things, ye shall receive your reward. Yea, ye shall have mercy restored unto you again. Ye shall have justice restored unto you again. Ye shall have a righteous judgment restored unto you again. And ye shall have good rewarded unto you again. Beautiful way of putting it, that treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Love them, be righteous, do good, and be kind. And what else will you do? You'll get that sent back to you. I love the quote by Thomas S. Monson that says, if you're going to err on the side of kindness. And I think that's very true. For that which ye do send out shall return unto you again, and be restored. Therefore the word restoration more fully condemneth the sinner, and justifieth him not at all. In other words, you're going to judge yourself. If you're doing something that is hateful, wrong, and everything else, eventually you're just going to justify, or you'll just condemn yourself anyway. When I guess I'll take a minute. We've been having riots here in this country, and won't worry about what the riots are, but it's what people are doing. No matter their political stance on things, you've got people throwing bricks at police officers. You've got people who are breaking in and stealing stuff from shops. You've got people who have attacked medical workers and destroyed and burned property. Every one of those, no matter if it was during a riot or if it was during any other time, anytime, if it was any of those things, they'd be arrested. And they are being arrested. But no matter how righteous their cause may be, they had to make a choice to pick up a brick. They had to make a choice to break into a shop. They had to make a choice to set a car on fire. That is their choice. And they are rewarded according to they should be rewarded according to that which they've done. What I'm saying about this, and I don't want to get political because I'm not getting on either side right here. What I'm doing is saying whoever does those things, they have made a choice. And do you think they should be justified in it just because their cause may be just or not just? I don't know. I'm not going to justify them for that. But they decided to do something besides just protest something that they didn't like. And the same with us. We should look and make sure that what we're doing is those things that are, as here, merciful, righteous, doing good continually, And those are the things that we should be looking for, we should be doing in our lives. And I believe that. And I believe that we'll see things in this life if we do those things, and we will find them restored to us in the next life as well. And I think, I hope you got something from this, and I hope you have a nice day, and we'll see